Welcome to the Be Engaged and Inspired Wedding Podcast.
A simple warning. We know many of you are planning a wedding right now. We may be tempted to drop an F-bomb or other descriptive words. Keep this in mind if you have small children in the room or are on a Zoom call. You've been warned.
The Be Engaged and Inspired Wedding Podcast.
Let's be honest, planning a wedding is tricky. And at Be Engaged and Inspired, we'll share our knowledge to help you navigate these tricky waters and leaving you feeling inspired.
The Be Engaged and Inspired Wedding Podcast is sponsored by EasyEventPlanning.com. They make planning any event fast and easy. EasyEventPlanning.com. And now your hosts, Kia and DJ Sam.
Welcome to the Be Engaged and Inspired the Wedding Podcast. DJ Sam from Atmosphere Productions with my host,
Kia from Engaged, Connecticut. It's another Wednesday.
And that means we're going to start off with a little inspiration.
And then I'm going to ruin it.
No, it isn't. This is a really good one. This one. In fact, I'm going to ask you, who do you think this one came from? Here's the advice I give everyone about marriage, he says. So that's knocked off half the population there already. Is she someone you find interesting? Does she make you laugh? And I don't know if you want kids, but if you do you think she'll be a good mother? Life is long. These are the things that really matter over the long term. Who said that?
Michael Scott from The Office.
That would have been a good one. Barack Obama. He said that about his wife.
Oh, that's a very nice thing to say. Yes. Yeah. And in my non-inspirational quote from my book from the 1913s, which are ways for husbands and wives to speak to each other with good wisdom.
You need to preface by saying that we're not responsible for this.
Oh, no, I'm not. No, I'm not responsible for this. I'm just describing when you're being inspirational. I'm probably sharing why I am not inspirational. Listen for his latchkey and meet him at the threshold. And for those of you who don't know, the latchkey is the key going into the door that turns it and no longer push buttons on your phone and automatically opens up when you arrive. It's not your ring. Don't watch your ring and watch him appear. And the threshold is that area between the front door and the spot where they drop everything.
and the point of that is that the lady of the house needs to be waiting there for her man to open up the door and be prompt and ready for whatever.
But I shouldn't open the door for him.
No. You can't do that. Because he needs to open the door himself, but you need to be there waiting. Just like, you watch those old...
Like I was waiting for you today. Yeah. I have your scotch ready and your slippers when you arrived out of the bitter, bitter cold.
No, I'm trying to make sense here. Like those old I Love Lucy movies.
That threshold.
Bewitched.
It's
that little area.
Like 5 feet right after you get through the door. Okay, so how come we have a Wedding Tip Wednesday?
We do have a Wedding Tip Wednesday.
I know, but how come?
Oh, we have a Wedding Tip Wednesday because it's sponsored by ShopEmergeCosmetics.com, and we want you to go to our Be Engaged and Inspired Facebook group page every Wednesday and join the group free.
Wedding Tip Wednesday is brought to you by Emerge Cosmetics. Are you ready to emerge? A new line of luxurious lipsticks and lip glosses created with the intention of empowerment and coming into who you truly are. Strong, beautiful, and confident. Use the Be Engaged and Inspired Wedding Podcast coupon code EBI10 at shopemergecosmetics.com for an instant 10% discount. That's coupon code EBI10 for 10% discount at shopemergecosmetics.com. Emerge as the true you.
Hey, Sam, when it comes to finding the right professional vendor, it can seem overwhelming to know where to start.
It can, Kia, unless you use EasyEventPlanning.com, because they'll find perfect vendors for your event within your budget and deliver them right to your inbox. You can search through over 28 categories of party and wedding services. Get the details you need to narrow down your choices quickly with their category-specific profiles. Chat with vendors via text, audio, or video from any device.
EasyEventPlanning.com will make planning your wedding or event easy, from their extensive vendor directory to their free tips on favors, decorations, themes, and more. Contact them today at EasyEventPlanning.com.
Help us out. Make a donation now to help support this podcast. Please go to our anchor.fm profile, click Support This Podcast at the top of the page, or use the link in the show notes of this episode, or go to the Atmosphere Productions business profile on Venmo. Thank you for making a donation and helping support this podcast.
You're listening to the Be Engaged and Inspired Wedding Podcast.
Now syndicated on the Wedding Talk channel on YouShook.com radio network, America's radio station.
Today's Wedding Tip Wednesday is, this one's about the reception seating. So, during the rehearsal, please let your wedding party know their seating for the reception. It's important not to have mass confusion just before the introduction. So remind them, that is the people in the wedding party to pick up their place cards during the cocktail hour. So that's a double reminder. Remind them at the rehearsal, and then remind them that when they get to the reception, make sure they pick up their place cards. That way they know where they're going. So when we introduce them, there isn't stumbling around. Oh, I don't know where I'm sitting.
So that's actually really interesting, Sam, because that's actually a really good tip. I'm impressed. You have a good one this week. But one of
Every week I have them. You just don't stay
I don't
with
listen
me.
to you. Because I'm waiting for you at the threshold and I'm distracted
really.
and can't read. No, one of the things that I think is great and something that we've implicated into our new season is actually taking the wedding party's
Place cards.
Yep. And handing it to them while they're in the row. Because a lot of times in the line when they're about to go, because they've got pockets, girls have other pockets, and this way it sometimes helps. It helps them remind them, and I do show them on a floor while we're standing there, because sometimes at rehearsals they're a little distracted.
Yeah, they've got other things to think about.
Also, sometimes on wedding day we have to make shifts to where people are going. So while you're doing your lining everybody up, how do I say your name? I'm sitting there saying,
here's your
card, and you're like, hey, look for your wife.
Because that is always the point when we're lining them up. They ask, oh, I don't know where I'm sitting. And
like, am I sitting with my wife? Am I sitting with you guys? Like, let's have that conversation.
So then we spend 10 minutes trying to find where the seats are, and it takes away from the dancing later on in the day.
Just taken away from you, Sam.
Thank you for putting me as the center of everything, because I am.
Yes.
Don't forget to use the Be Engaged and Inspired Wedding Podcast coupon code EBI10, EBI10 at shopemergecosmetics.com. That's shopemergecosmetics.com for an instant 10% discount. Lipsticks and lip gloss. Those are the special items to get the discounts on. That's coupon code EBI10 for 10% discount at Shop Emerge Cosmetics. Emerge as the true you.
And yes, she ships.
Yes, that's SHIP as opposed to any other letters that you'd like to fit in there after the SHI.
P. Okay.
Okay.
So what's our topic today, Sam?
Our topic is cool things that we've seen at weddings over the last few seasons, or, what that we'd like to mention.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want to start off? You want me to say?
Now, I'll start off with one.
Okay.
It's a food truck.
Is that really new?
No, but it was a Prosecco truck.
I like the Prosecco trucks. I think they're cool.
That is cool. You got this one also had other types of alcohol on it.
There's the key point.
Yes. But just having a Prosecco truck was just fascinating. It was mobbed the entire time of the wedding reception.
So I know of like 2 or 3 of them in Connecticut. I also know of like a beer truck, which is really cool, an old one. I know little bar carts. Yep. I know like the little horse carriages and Mobile Pub, who I've worked with a ton of times. They come in with a cute little camper. I think there's a lot of awesomeness that comes from that.
Awesomeness, I like that word.
Yeah, but you have to consider something. Here comes the
what do you have to consider?
Grim Reaper as a wedding planner that I'm going to come in.
Here comes the bad side.
If you're having this indoor-outdoor wedding, there's a point where that vehicle can only get so close to where everybody is. And if weather is questionable, you have to make sure that there's some way that they can relatively easily get as close as possible.
Okay.
And do you really want to grab an umbrella as you're walking out to get a Prosecco? I'm not saying you shouldn't have them. I'm just saying it's the same thing with food trucks.
Right.
They can only get so close to those opening doors before gas smells and everything else is coming inside.
And especially if you're having a full outdoor wedding reception, you may not be able to have the truck drive onto the grass of the particular area because it may get stuck.
And one of the things you can do is when you're planning with your venue is say, what have you done in the past for this situation, or what's your solution?
Yep.
We've thrown down hay, we've thrown down rock, plywood.
I was going to say sheetrock, not sheetrock, plywood.
Yeah. Clearly, you're a DJ and not a carpenter. But that's just one of those things to ask and just be ready for that.
Okay.
It may be great, but if your weather isn't great that day, it's something you're going to have to just accept and not obsess about.
Of course.
Okay, what's something else cool? And then I'll just overtake the entire rest of this podcast.
No, you shoot one, and then I'll come back and give you another one.
So what I have seen is this creative ceremony seating. Seeing a lot more, especially after COVID, we have a lot of people who are everybody's not seated as close.
Okay.
You're seeing a mix. We're getting a lot of requests for can I have a pew and a couch and then 3 chairs here, and then in this row I'll have another pew and a couch and maybe a wing. What are those, wing back chairs? A really big assorted thing. This upcoming year, I have a whole bunch, and I had one last year. and it's this, I guess, creative way. I mean, it's all on Pinterest, but now it's actually like happening.
A few years back, I had a spiral ceremony where, if you can imagine, a circular spiral with the...
It's like a cinnamon roll.
Yes. In the very center were the couple, and then the parents, and then it circled all the way around in a pretty tight circle. There's only probably about 75 guests, but everybody got to hear the ceremony because you were only maybe 12 feet away from the couple.
That does not fit CDC rules or regulations, probably, or maybe it has. I don't know.
No, as I said, this was before COVID, so that's an interesting thing about seating. There's loads. Go on Pinterest, you'll see loads of these different seating arrangements.
So I've been trying to encourage my couples. We have these bridesmaids, groomsmen, family walk down the aisle. They sit down in that first row. Mm-hmm. I sort of want the first row behind the couple, looking back at everybody.
Yeah.
I'm really think that in a year or two, it's going to be a thing. Because...
And even not, you're going to make it a thing.
I'm going to make it a thing. That's just the way I roll. But I think it's a great thing because people can see their expressions. Mm-hmm. Like I've seen people saying now that you should put your bridesmaids on the groom's side so they can see their best friend while she's saying her vows and crying, and vice versa.
Yeah, that's true. I like that.
I like it too.
I like it.
Okay.
All right. My next one is, I've never seen this one, but I have read about it extensively. Read about it in one place.
It's about as much attention that you could give to it.
The couple had a guacamole ceremony where during the ceremony they had an avocado bowl and a little pinch pots with different ingredients to make up the guacamole, and each ingredient meant a little something to the couple. And as the ceremony went along, they added it, and then at the very end, they mixed it all together.
And fed each other a chip of guacamole?
I said I read this. I didn't actually experience it, but I thought it was something that was very interesting to pass on to our couples.
Okay, I've seen that. Okay. I mean, I've not seen it. I mean, I've heard of these types of ideas of something that you're sort of building and doing.
Yeah.
Okay, it's an interesting one.
Especially if you like tacos and Mexican food.
Please feed each other very carefully. Just saying. Or have a backup shirt. Or wear a bib or something. Yes. So, and I know I've discussed this before, but a few years ago, and it's starting to be something that I'm seeing. Like we're seeing grandmas as flower girls.
Love it.
We're seeing, some of your groomsmen as like the flower boy who's doing a dramatic whatever. But one of the things that I loved the most was seeing two fathers who actually were the ones who held the rings. And so when they called for the ring for the daughter, he got up and gave it to his brand new son-in-law and vice versa. And I really think that that's a beautiful thing. And I can see ways that you could incorporate that with being moms. Because as a mom of only boys, I'm going to toss the ring and say go, but I'm just,
And as you know, my daughter's getting married in a year or so. That's a great idea.
I think
love that.
Because I think sometimes, you walk them down the aisle and then they're like, okay, they're out.
Yep, we're done.
Well, wait till the dance section. And I really think there's something, meaningful in that you're handing over your hand that has the ring that they're going to put onto your child's hand.
Exactly.
I just think it's cool.
Exactly. All right, we're going to be back with some more. I've got a great one for the grooms, and then I've got something about a painting ritual that I'm going to tell you about.
Like a hand fasting ritual?
No. You wait. You'll just have to wait there until I am ready.
Okay, fine.
Just want to remind you that we are now available on Anchor and the Spotify network, and now exclusively on the Wedding Talk channel on the youshook.com radio network.
Each week, the Be Engaged and Inspired Wedding podcast posts a new episode sharing wedding tips, knowledge, and speaking with wedding experts, all as a chance to help you navigate your way through planning your own wedding. Have a topic you want us to cover? Want to send us a message? Email us at engagedct@gmail.com, go to the Be Engaged and Inspired Wedding Podcast Facebook group page, or on anchor.fm and select message. Your message will be recorded and may be aired on a future episode.
The Be Engaged and Inspired Wedding podcast will be right back.
Emerge Cosmetics. Are you ready to emerge?
I bought this lipstick after my wedding trial with Lauren and instantly fell in love with it. It is smooth and creamy and the color is beautiful.
This is Lauren Simpson from Emerge Cosmetics, a professional makeup artist with over a decade of experience in the beauty industry. That's the reaction we're getting from our new line of carefully curated lip products that wear well and feel comfortable. These are a must-have for your collection. All products are made in the U.S. USA, cruelty-free, gluten-free, and most are vegan. Shop emergecosmetics.com for lipsticks and lip glosses that not only feel great, but last for hours in an array of different colors. Free shipping on orders over $100. Use the Be Engaged and Inspired Wedding Podcast coupon code EBI10 at shopemergecosmetics.com for an instant 10% discount. That's coupon code EBI10 for 10% discount at shopemergecosmetics.com. Emerge as the true you.
Dollar Tree is the nation's #1 destination for value shopping. All of their stores are well lit and crammed with all kinds of hidden treasures. Dollar Tree offers a plethora of merchandise that includes many national and regionally trusted brands. It doesn't matter if you're looking for housewares, dinnerware, candy, snacks, stationery, or holiday needs. You're going to find it at Dollar Tree. You can shop at your hometown store or shop online for exclusive offers, manufacturer closeouts, watch videos, and join their Value Seekers Club. On top of all that, you can have your order shipped for free directly to your local store. To visit DollarTree.com, click on the link in the show notes to let them know we sent you. Doing so helps keep our podcast going. Dollar Tree.
Let Here to the Moon Travel be your go-to specialist to avoid the headaches and stress of planning your trip. Hi, this is Michelle from Here to the Moon Travel. You can find us at heretothemoontravel.com. Travel and customer service is my passion, and having a one-on-one relationship is something that a virtual site really cannot provide. We are your personal booking resource for all your travel needs. We can assist with anything from your honeymoon, destination wedding, luxury travel, group, family, or corporate travel, and so much more. heretothemoontravel.com.
Honey Fund, the world's #1 wedding registry. Honey Fund helps real couples realize their wedding and honeymoon dreams. Honey Fund's #1 online wedding gift registry makes it easy to give and receive the perfect wedding gift, one that reflects the couple's unique style and makes giving fun for the wedding guest. As the world's most popular crowdfunding site for weddings, honeymoons, and more, Honey Fund has helped hundreds of thousands of couples make their wedding dreams come true with an easy-to-use funding platform. Honey Fund, a gift card wedding registry that's as flexible as cash. Use the Be Engaged and Inspired Wedding Podcast link in the show notes or visit atmosphere-productions.com. Select the podcast link and click on the Honey Fund banner. That's atmosphere-productions.com. Select the podcast link and click on the Honey Fund banner.
Hey, Aaron Miller here from Aaron Miller Photography.
I'm Michelle from Destination Weddings Unlimited.
This is Marty Q.
I'm Donna from Creative Cakes by Donna, and I listen every week.
You should tell an engaged friend.
And I always listen to DJ Sam and Kia
on the Be Engaged and Inspired podcast. Jeff Ladd here from Tire Biter and Jeff Ladd DJ Plus.
This is Christina Wesley from La Femme Boudoir Photography.
Tell an engaged friend or somebody planning an event.
I'm Lauren Simpson from LA Page Makeup, and I listen every week for the great tips and suggestions.
You should tell an engaged friend.
Every single Wednesday. And you know what? It's free.
Free on iTunes and Google Podcasts. I suggest you listen too.
You should listen too.
Engaged Connecticut is a one-of-a-kind wedding business. We offer a selection of wedding venues along with planning and design services. Hire a wedding planner for your dream backyard, ballroom, or vineyard wedding, and many more. We have numerous creative wedding venues that offer you the opportunity to plan your wedding the way you envision. Find us at engagedct.com, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok Engaged Connecticut.
Atmosphere Productions, professional disc jockeys.
Live musicians, custom lighting and photo booth.
When your wedding entertainment has to have the amazing music be fun, organized, and unforgettable, your choice has to be Atmosphere Production. Experience the difference. www.atmosphere-productions.com. That's www.atmosphere-productions.com.
DJs, live musicians, custom lighting and photo booth.
Atmosphere Productions, professional disc jockeys.
Meadowbrook Estates and Mansion is located in Marlborough, Connecticut, perfectly situated between New York City and Boston. Our one-of-a-kind 10,500 square foot venue offers lodging for up to 30 guests and a stunning ballroom for intimate weddings. Looking to host a larger event? We have a gorgeous outside setting right next to our heated pool and small rambling brook. Contact us at Engage Connecticut for more details.
Everyone is talking about the DJ Pauly Show on YouShook.com.
Hi everyone, this is Keith Urban, and you're listening to the #1 DJ on the planet, DJ Pauly.
What's going on, everybody? This is Charles,
Hillary,
and Dave, and we are
Lady Antebellum.
And you're listening to the #1 DJ on the internet. It's DJ Pauly, y'all.
Hey y'all, I'm Kelsey Ballerini, and you're listening to the #1 DJ on the internet. It's DJ Pauly, y'all.
The DJ Pauly Show on YouShook.com. We dare to be different. Join us and see for yourselves.
This is Christina Wesley from La Femme Boudoir Photography. Join me next week as I talk about boudoir photography and give you some insight on what I do. That's all next week, right here with me, Christina Wesley from La Femme Boudoir Photography on the Be Engaged and Inspired Wedding podcast.
Now back to the Be Engaged and Inspired Wedding podcast, sponsored by EasyEventPlanning.com. They make planning any event fast and easy. EasyEventPlanning.com. With your hosts, Kia and DJ Sam.
Welcome back to Be Engaged and Inspired, the wedding podcast. Sam, is waving his hands. I don't know what you're doing. Do you have something important to say, Sam?
Well, I've got to tell you about the official new bride name change kit. It's a complete name change kit for new bride and same-sex marriage couples, containing instructions, checklists, all the government forms for you to complete, plus labels for your envelopes, and it's customized to your state's and local jurisdiction. They make it so easy. Everything you need, just open the pretty pink box and get ready to go from Miss to Mrs. or Mr. to Mr. without any hassles. The official new bride name change kit. How do you get it? Well, you can use the Be Engaged and Inspired Wedding podcast link in the show notes of this episode, or visit atmosphere-productions.com, select the podcast link, and click on the namechangekit.com banner. Clicking the link doesn't cost you a penny, but your purchase will help compensate us and keep this podcast alive.
And it'll also keep you sane, so you don't go to print the wrong piece of paperwork or go down to Social Security, then come home and realize, shit, I didn't break this one.
My God, I remember when I had to do it. It was just a pain in the butt. They make it so easy now. Get it? Okay, so we are in the midst of our topic. Some of the coolest things we've seen in the last few years, or
upcoming.
Upcoming, yes.
This is sort of always changing. So I'm going to start this off. I know you have a groomsmen one.
Yep.
But this is a trend that I'm seeing on this thing called TikTok, Sam.
Oh, here we go.
Okay. But there are a lot of brides and grooms who are doing first looks with the opposite wedding party.
Okay, yep.
And the reason they're doing it is because you're getting a more natural look in photos.
Okay.
So you don't necessarily hang out with photographers all the time.
No.
But sometimes photographers will yell, everybody look like you're having a good time. Somebody tell a joke. There's genuine emotion that's coming out when you have all of your groomsmen with their backs turned to you.
I see.
And then the bride enters and they turn. And they know what the bride looks like, but the groom doesn't. Or if we're having a same-sex couple, I've seen it with both sides of the girls. There's a lot of screaming. No offense, there just is.
I've never seen that. That
and
is
so
cool.
It's a really cool thing, especially if you're not doing a first look.
Yep.
It is allowing you to get this is the cool part of it. It's allowing you to get photos done with both sides of the wedding party without having to do that later on, because we've all seen it. They don't have a first look, and then here's a photo with all one side, and here's a photo with all of this side, and you're getting them all involved.
Yeah.
And then you're just going to have to do a quick few ones with both of them together.
Yep. Excellent. I love that one. That's cool.
Yeah.
And my cool one is I actually had my groom ask me just before dinner after the toasts to play the national anthem.
That's a new one.
That's exactly what I thought.
Did everybody stand up, or were they confused?
They did.
Did they think they were at a ball game?
He wasn't in the army or anything. He just wanted to play the national anthem.
Was there a flag that you had to turn towards? Because as a military brat, my army brat person would have my hand and be looking for a flag, going oh my God, my father will strike me down if I do not.
It was just so cool. Now, I've had that one, but I've also had, but this was a few years ago, somewhat after September 11th of 2000.
It's been 20 years. It's been more than 20
years. Yeah. They wanted me to play God Bless America.
That's one of my, I like that one better than the national anthem.
Yeah.
Please do not send hate mail. I'm not saying the national anthem is wrong. I'm just saying God Bless America as a child of immigrants really had a different meaning.
It does, and as you probably know, I wasn't born here, and neither was Kia. So
no, I was born.
Oh,
here.
You were born here,
but my parents just didn't assimilate me into everything yet.
The national anthem and being a citizen means a whole heap more to me.
Yep.
I know a lot more about American history than my wife does, and she was born here.
Ooh, we could have a trivia day.
No, let's not do that.
Oh, you and I should take the immigration test.
Yes,
that would be awesome.
And
especially that'd be great. We could watch 90 Day Fiance, which is people who get 90 days to marry each other, and we could answer all those questions.
Yeah. I think I could probably get at least 90%.
I actually think that you and I could we could
Ace
answer.
that?
I think you and I could ace the immigration test. I do think that we could also answer the questions for each other. That would say, like, how does Sam take his coffee? He takes pumpkin spice as long as it's available. It's disgusting, and I hate it.
It's you're my work wife.
I am your work.
Next one. If you're a lover of cars, this may not be anything new to you, but because I'm from England, I had a couple come in a Rolls Royce, not to the church, but the limo brought them to the reception hall in a Rolls Royce.
I like the classic car. I think
Love
there's
the
something
classic
pretty.
cars.
I actually think there's something sweet about seeing somebody with their kids in that car and then moving forward. I've seen a bunch of them. We had a wedding at the inn at Mount Pleasant where they brought the car in, like it had like a crank.
Oh, yeah. Real old.
Like real old. Like you
1920s.
brought it in the trailers and they like rolled it off and it started and they put it in like a specific spot. And the dad drove his daughter in as close as he could. I mean, that thing sputtered all the way. But there was something great about it. It was,
I liked it.
I did too.
Sounds very good.
You and I go back and forth on this one.
Okay. Hit me.
It's the personalized vows.
What's wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong with it.
Okay.
I just think some people feel this pressure to be
an over-inventive.
Yes. And I've had couples who've shared things. Sometimes they've shared the same thing in the vows, which I always think is really sweet. But I think we've moved away from one of our guests who's been here before. She's a JP, and I'm drawing a blank at this moment. But she makes really beautiful vow books.
Oh, yes.
And I think we're moving away from like the tissue or the napkin that has you like scribbled. And I know your least favorite, the phone.
The least favorite. Please write it down.
Write it down, but not on an index card. This is not like your 6th grade social studies test that you need to like give a presentation on.
Right. That's fine. All right. Painting ritual. All right. During the ceremony, each couple poured paint onto a white board, and the words "I said" explaining the meaning were cool. Very brave of the bride and groom in her white gown.
I wouldn't. No, I'm not pouring paint. I thought you were going to say like a live painter, which I think has happened.
Oh, I've had that before.
Yeah,
but
cool.
Actually, the paint and mixing the paint
so it's like
in the ceremony.
It's like a sand ceremony,
but with color. With paint, I mean.
Well,
yes.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, but at some point, doesn't it all just become brown or black?
Turns into an ungodly mess.
Okay, whatever. So a few years ago, I think guest books have come a long way. We've done the Jenga. We've done these things. I've seen people write on globes. I've seen people take old books or old stories that are loved ones and have people write in like the margins or circle passages and sign their names. I think for one, it relieves your guests from writing, "Congratulations, I hope you have like a lifetime of happiness."
It's the same thing.
It's the same thing, but it's a nice way to give them like, "Oh my God, this is like my favorite part of this book." And like say something meaningful or maybe inspire you to say something beautiful.
And to follow on to that, I had a couple that each table was a book, a title of a book. And as centerpieces, stacked up was like 6 or 7 books.
Oh, I love it.
And each couple could take a book at the end of the event.
Cool. It's like a library event, except you don't have to return it.
Except that, and that's the great thing about it. So anyway, that's it. That's some cool stuff that we've seen
in life and off of Pinterest.
Yeah.
So it actually works.
Yes, it's been done by somebody. If not by us, it's been done by somebody.
I agree. So remember that if you have a question or comment, you can email us at engagect@gmail.com. If you want to be a guest, let us know as well. We are available on Anchor, the Spotify network, and now exclusively on the Wedding Talk channel on youshook.com radio. And Ruby, can you thank our sponsors?
Thanks to our sponsors, easyeventplanning.com, Meadowbrook Estate, Emerge Cosmetics, Here to the Moon Travel, Destination Weddings Unlimited, Dollar Tree, Honey Fund, and the official new bride name change kit.
Now syndicated on the Wedding Talk channel on youshook.com radio network, America's radio station.
And remember that you can download us for free wherever you get your favorite podcast, and we're here every single Wednesday. And
every Wednesday.
I don't know if there's not like a week that doesn't have a Wednesday.
I know.
Okay.
Come on back here.
Okay, I don't want to. See you next week, Sam.
The Be Engaged and Inspired Wedding podcast is sponsored by EasyEventPlanning.com. They make planning any event fast and easy. EasyEventPlanning.com. This podcast is produced and copyright by Atmosphere Productions in association with Engaged Connecticut.